So when I was knee deep in betrayal, my intuition would tell me things. It would show me things like I was, for the most part, super trusting of my ex. But every once in a while, I would look at his phone at the exact moment that I needed to, and I would see something off, right? Something sus. And I would ask him about it, and he would gaslight me. I trusted him more than I trusted my intuition. So that went on for years. And then one Christmas, he gave me this lingerie. And I feel like lingerie is a gift for the guy, not really the woman, because especially when you live in Canada and it's freaking freezing outside in December and all you want is a fluffy robe and some bunny slippers, he would get mad when I would ask him about receipts, if something was the wrong size or wrong color. So I went and I looked a couple places, like where he keeps his phone, on his desk, trying to find the receipt. But I couldn't find it and I didn't want to go digging. So I was walking through the hallway and my intuition says, stop right now and look up. And I look up and on the top of this tall shelf was this box. My intuition says, yeah, that box right there, pull it down. So I pulled it down and I found the receipt. My intuition said, take a picture of it. So I took a picture of it and I put it back up on the shelf. And later, when I was looking at it, it was an online purchase for what he had given me, this little pink frilly thing, in my size, but also in an extra small and a large. So logic will do this to you. It'll say, oh, he must have had problems with his shopping cart and he must have put the wrong size in. But your feelings don't lie. I knew that he was cheating, and every time I brought something up to him, flashed through my mind, and it all made sense in this new context of he's actually seeing other women. So I like to keep my cards close to my chest. I didn't say anything to him at that time. I wanted to sit with that for a while. That night, I had a dream that I called Victoria's Secret. And then in the morning, I got up and I called Victoria's Secret. And I found out that there were 3 orders, 14 different pieces of lingerie. And I had only received one of those things. I waited a few days and went for a hike in nature and things got super clear. And I showed up at his house. I could see him in the basement. I called him and I saw him through the window, look at his phone, put the call to voicemail, and then put it back in his pocket. So I went up the stairs and I knocked on the door and I surprised him. I told him what I had found and he was still gaslighting me and lying. And in that moment, I realized that he was more committed to lying and cheating than he was to our relationship. Actually, I don't even know if I could call it a relationship. I don't even know what that was, but it sure wasn't what I thought it was, and he wasn't the person that I thought he was. So it made it really easy for me to leave. And then after I left, I experienced shame, but I didn't do anything wrong. He was cheating. And I experienced humiliation and I didn't want to tell anyone. And I could feel all the pain in my body. And I remembered all the times that my intuition was trying to show me the truth. And then what happens is that shame and that humiliation, it starts to permeate into other areas of your life. You lose that focus, you lose drive. And this is not a motivation problem. Be gentle with yourself. This is what you're left with trauma. So you think that everyone you're talking to is lying to you, cheating you somehow, betraying you. And you will have intrusive thoughts, and you will have these feelings in your body that you felt at the most intense moment of the betrayal. What I want you to know is that these are memories. That feeling in your body is happening in this moment where you might be sitting safe in your room or laying in bed, and you'll feel those feelings in your body. So I want you to know that that's a memory. And what happens with trauma memories, because we are so overwhelmed, our brains can't handle the experience. And it can't file this experience away like it does with other things that have happened in the past. Like you went to the store and you can just file that away on Thursday. With trauma, the memory shatters into a million little pieces. And each piece gets saved in the present tense, not in the past tense, like, oh, that's what happened on Thursday. So that when you remember these memories of trauma, you experience them in the present tense. You experience them like they're happening right now. They don't feel like a memory. They feel like they're happening in this moment, even though nothing's happening. And so I went to talk therapy, sometimes 3 times a week, talking, trying to understand, trying to logic my way out of this betrayal. But even after 3 times a week, plus talking to my friends, my family, basically anyone who would listen, I still felt that emotional impact in my body. And here's the thing, logic, understanding, insights cannot fix emotion. Talk therapy helps, but it can't get you across the line. You'll always be left with this emotional element that you can only access and fix at the subconscious level. If you've been trying to fix your trauma, trying to fix all of those random emotions and random thoughts that keep bringing that trauma from the past into the present, that have you reliving that trauma every day, and it keeps you stuck because that past is in your future. It's taking up all the space in your future. So if what you've been doing has been with your conscious mind, with all the logic and all the understanding, and you haven't been able to fix the emotion, I want you to start to look for ways that you can work with that emotion at the subconscious level. Because that's where you'll get unstuck. That's where the healing is. And your subconscious already knows how to fix it. You just have to connect with it. Let me know if this makes sense, if you've been experiencing traumatic memories, or if you have any questions. Subscribe and like this video for more content on infidelity and betrayal trauma recovery. And let's connect on the next one.